Welcome back, everyone. We got some big time buying going on, and the cryptos are trying to show a little life. We're going to get into a little XRP discussion now. I actually did some buying today, and I know a lot of you out there are watching thinking the same thing. Is it time to get into it, or are we going to continue to see weakness? I would say the next two candles to next 48 hours are going to be big. And I'm going to go over a lot of what we've been talking about, or at least a lot of what I've been watching. Now, before I do, folks, get into it. First link down below. I'm doing this for a day to give everybody a chance to come into the Stockmo Earner or Learners Discord. You get a 72-hour pass here, no cost. Limited time. Like I said, this is the first day I've ever done this. So you guys have a chance to do this. I think I'm only going to do it for a day. I might do 2 days. I don't know. But you guys can come in today and get in there. First link down below. That'll get you over there. You can sign up and get you 72 hours in there. And I'm going to live stream trading tomorrow too. So that'll be fun. I'm teaching over there. You guys can also get into the 4-step framework for successful technical analysis. No cost for this one. This is an hour long. Goes over how to learn the technicals, folks. Get into it. And of course, the moo down below. Take advantage of this. Yes, that is NVIDIA. They're giving you a great opportunity there. That's the third link. You got to use the third link, though. If you don't use it, you don't get it. All right, let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk some shop here. I'm in there looking at the 5-minute, the minute, all these different charts. So we're going to go into the daily. And I want to show you some XRP and kind of what I'm watching and what I'm hoping for. And you know, when it comes to the technicals, my technicals are pure fire. They've been spot on. Everything's been hit nicely. When it comes to finding a bottom, finding the top, what I look for on the bottoms, of course, is when we start to see the reversals. The 5 crossing the 13, and then the 13 crossing the 50. Major signs for me. All right? And so when you see that, it happens to be one of my favorite signs is when the 13 crosses the 50. And for anybody who's followed me in my day trading, which if you sign up for the 72-hour pass, down below, you will have the opportunity tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern to watch that. That's one of my favorite ones. Now, normally it's on the downturn after a long bullish run. So this would qualify right here. Now, the good sign on this is that we would normally see a lot of downturn. Guess what we did not see here? I got to be blunt. We didn't get it. On this candle is normally where you're going to start within 1 to 3 candles, see a major push down. We got the next candle, which we did get, as I showed right here. We got all the way down, and it bounced back up. So at that particular moment in time, we got a flush, but not the flush I really look for. You can see we came down to like 260 something, which was a pretty good flush on this. I would usually jump in the day before that candle pops. So you're at 280, and we go all the way down, 287 down to 267 almost. You're looking at 20 cents. That's your flush, but then it kind of comes back up, and then we're moving up, retesting the 13, back down to what now looks like support, and now the buyers step in. For everybody who's kind of doubting this, I get it. When it comes to XRP, the XRP price prediction, all this, that, and the other thing, it seems like, Mo, you know, hey, it looks like it's going to, well, isn't it going to drop, Mo? You know, and I get a lot of people calling me up, texting me in the messages, on the channel, all everywhere, wondering the same thing. Now, I trade with no emotion. When I make a play and I put my hard-earned money at work, I'm doing it based on what I believe the technicals are telling me. I added on today, and remember, these candles start new at 8 p.m., so we're past 8 p.m., so you got a new candle today. I based on the 5 crossing over. See this? This is, you get access in the earner tier to my charts. You can pull up the breadbot charts, which are fantastic. They would show you this. Now, that 5 crossing the 13 is big. But I told you what would be bigger is if we get an opening and closing candle today. So by tomorrow night at 8 p.m., if this candle's green, it's going to be beautiful. What we really want to take out is $3. I've already said that, and that's your resistance. If we break that, oh man, it's just looking good. And I know a lot of people just don't trust this, and I get it. I absolutely get it, but I'm not going to fight the technicals. Now, I only did a little bit of buying. I'm probably about, I'd say 15% into the position I want, if not a little under that, like 10%. With that being said, though, if this continues to go the way I think it could, because it makes sense to me. And I'm trying to figure it out just as much as everybody else with the technicals. Why would the buyers step in? And, well, we had the monster sell-off. We got pushed down to 267 in the zone between the 50 and 61.8% retracement. Normally, after a big run, all the way up, I'll give you the look, we came down into the zone. I teach this in my technical class. We will normally return to the 50 to 61.8. I look for 61.8 to be hit. It doesn't always get hit. More times than not, though, we are going to get down there. This is one of the times it may not have. And so then I start to think about all the outside variables that affect this. And it hits me. We got the spot ETFs that are going to be okayed here within the next month. What is the history on these? This is a brand new sector, folks. I know what you're saying. Well, crypto isn't new, Mo. It's been here for, over a decade. It's new in terms of the SEC okaying these spot ETFs. We have Bitcoin. They had their approval. We saw some action there. We saw Ethereum, which I was able to make over 6 figures on that one because we got in right before they announced it. We made a ton on that, right? And then now we know what happens normally after the spot ETFs are approved. You see an influx of cash flowing into them. And because they're spot ETFs, it pushes them higher. You see a really, really nice run. And so I start thinking about it. When's it going to be approved? Most likely end of September, first week or two of October, I believe. You're going to get an announcement out of the SEC. They don't have to wait up to the deadline. And that starts to possibly give a little pump to this on the good news. So quietly, you continue to see negative articles out there spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt. All the while, the price is starting to slowly move up. That is why I take emotion out of the trading. I follow the charts. I don't try to guess what's going to happen with XRP, the XRP price prediction, all that and the other things. I just look at the candles and play the probability. For those who do not know, one of the classes I taught was the statistics. I taught statistics, finance, all kinds of great classes, but statistics, and I taught advanced statistics, was one of the better ones that I have taught. And when you're looking at these candles, these pictures, these candles, these are statistics at work in a graphical sense. And I love looking at them. They're very simple to me. They tell a story, and I like the story I'm seeing right now. Now, after a monster candle like this, you never know. Maybe we get a sell-off by the end of this by tomorrow. And maybe we retest the 50 and we have what I call the trampoline. We go up, we hit it, we hit the resistance, which we did here. We kind of sideways, and then we come back down, bounce, and then we run. I wouldn't be surprised at that. I also wouldn't be surprised if this opens and closes up because money's getting placed by those who control it slowly and quietly. And I'm not sure. That's the thing about investing. There's risk. The uncertainty is risk. The certainty I feel in my heart that we are going to have the okay for the spot ETFs by the end of October at the latest, plus or minus a month. I always say that because if you need to cross the T's or dot the I's, it's not that the SEC is going to say no. It's that all the paperwork has to be correct. So to me, it's not if we're going to okay the spot ETFs, it's when. Now, I personally feel October, and I've been saying this since 2024, that's right, a year ago, that we would have it okayed in October plus or minus a month. So October to November or September to November, with October being my main month. And I've been saying this, like I said again, since 2024. And I've been accurate. I've been absolutely on fire with the technicals. We are absolutely calling the shots like we should be. And that's what it's about here. So now at this point, I see this and I'm starting to buy. I had 2 nice buys in I think the last 2 weeks. Very nice buys, 5-digit buys. And I'm looking to do more depending on these candles this week. If I get a confirmation, and I've said it before, and I want to get above this $3 mark and confirm. So a closing candle above and then a confirmation, I'm not going to be surprised to see a monster short squeeze on those who shorted XRP. This came down and retraced where it needed to retrace into the 50 to 61.8% retracement off the run up. That is what normally happens. Now, it did exactly what I've been teaching. Now, what I can't tell people is where the bottom's at. The bottom, as you see my line here, and it looks like that's the bottom, it's right here. That's where we got to. We got close to where I thought we had hit as a bottom, but we didn't. All right? That's the thing. We never know for sure where it'll finally, hit those buyers, those whales, to push this thing up. If we hit 3 and we bounce back all the way down, that tells me this was just a bull trap. So I am cautiously optimistic. And I like what I'm seeing for the XRP fans out there. We will see. If you go into the 4 hour, give you a little short term, you can see we've been running up nicely there. Hit the 50 right here, came back down, retested again, got a double bottom on the 4 hour. I taught this during my class. Double bottom during the 4 hour. Right here's the neckline. I always tell them if you break that neckline, that is a good thing. So anybody who took my class, this is an example of the double bottom on the 4 hour. You broke the neckline here. I always told you, that's where I like to get into an entry. Look what happened. Boom, boom. I told you within 3 candles, we normally will go back above. 1, 2, 3. We start to move up, 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 up. And there you go. Took 4 on this one. So, yeah, some interesting stuff. So we'll see where we go, but I'm liking it. Now, if you guys haven't done it, get in over to the Discord. You can follow along. 36 learning lessons, the expert traders, myself live trading privately tomorrow, and so much more. I usually do it twice a week, and you guys can do it at no cost right here for 3 days. Give it a shot. See what you think. You should be enlightened, if you will, with all the people in there that help. And it is definitely a community is striving to get to financial freedom. Like I said, that's right here. You want to be in the earner one because that gives access to the live stream. Now, the next is the Academy, where you can get over here for the 4-step framework for successful technical analysis. There's no cost on this either. You guys can give that a shot. And then, of course, over here to Moo, take a look at that. They got that all lined up. But you do got to use you got to use my link. You got to use my link. That's it, folks. That is the update. I appreciate you stopping by. I will see you in the Discord.